blinding, but what a fantastic privilege to be able to address this esteemed room. So, okay, I tried to fit my narrative into a clean theme. I could not. So it's either embracing the power of the unknown or brave but stupid, depending on which side of the uh, how you see my story. So I started in business school. This is okay. I'm going to find myself a spot in which I can see everyone. Yes, this works better for me. All right. So I started in business school, right? So I went to the College of Business Studies, and I was extremely dedicated to the notion of becoming a consultant at McKinsey, and I was obsessed, right? I would do all of the internships. I was in all of the clubs. And through some accident, I ended up at Future Group doing an internship. This is also Kishore Biani, the poster child of retail days, right? Where retail was beautiful and unknown and changing, and I knew that retail is where I'm going to be. So all of my plans of becoming a McKinsey consultant, where I'm going to address a room like this, but in a different way, was thrown out of the order, and then I decided that I'm going to join NIFT. I started at Reliance Brands, and I was super lucky because it was Reliance Brands, the startup. You did everything, and you sat in every room, and you were in every meeting, and it was phenomenal. Within Reliance, I was working with Diesel, so Diesel was my first and true love, and I got to work with the original Maverick, Renzo Rosso, very, very intimately. So, and I got to do amazing things like this, right? You get to work with Renzo, you get to build a capsule for Mumbai Indians, you get to be the only country that does things like this. So shortly after what was a phenomenal journey, I decided, brave but stupidly, to pack up and come to Delhi and figure something different. So I interviewed at Marks and Spencer, where I thought that I'm interviewing for a completely different role. And I end up getting an offer letter that reads chief manager. And I was like, I was 25, I think, at this time. I'd obviously never led a business unit. I was not worthy of being chief of anything, but here I am in what is the second largest high street brand in the country at the time, very esteemed peers. Everyone's spent a ton of time in that company, but here I am, Maverick, turning up in my leather jacket and high boots and wanting this job. But anyway, so then I called up Ritesh Mishra, who was the gentleman who was supposed to be my manager, and I told him that if I accept this offer today, there's no taking back, because you've clearly made a mistake in the offer letter. And yes, and there I was, chief manager, figuring out, never having run a business unit, figuring out how to turn around the kids' business there. And of course, I absolutely adored being at Marks & Spencer, and I knew that, like many of the colleagues there, I'm going to spend several years here. I was all set, feeling pretty pleased with myself. And then I got this one call from Lenskart. Now, Lenskart at this time was a piddly little company, right? It was, the entire business was the size of one business unit at Marks & Spencer. It had a .com in its name, and I obviously knew that is not where I'm going to go. And the HR was relentless, and they said, but just come and meet us. So I did, and I go and I meet Piyush, and now, of course, everyone knows Piyush's famous pitch, but that is the pitch he made to me sometime 5 years ago. And then, stupid but brave, I decided to pack up, and I come to a company which does not have a job for me, so I spent 2 months just chatting with people, figuring out what I want to do. In that interim, then I finally did get asked, what is it that you want to do? So then I said, I want to build a brand, and I want to only work in the premium space because, hey, I've sold denim that costs 50,000 bucks. I'm not going to start selling glasses that cost 1,000 rupees, right? It's not going to happen. So a group of 20-something-year-olds, like this ragtag group of kids, get thrown into a different office, and we get told that, okay, fine, we'll build a premium brand. I had, at the time, very small team. We had people on the brand side, very few people on the experience side, and then I used to do go-to-market and product strategy. That used to be my specialization at the time. Today, so yeah, that. And then, I know I don't need to talk about my company, but John Jacobs really did come from the spirit of being brave but stupid. That's why I keep repeating that. We wanted to challenge the heritage inherent brands, right? Before I talk of John Jacobs or what we did and and I'm obsessed with this brand, I live and breathe it every day, you need to understand the context of the eyewear industry. 80% of this industry is run by 3 Italian companies. Okay, internally we call them the Italian mafia. They are very hard to beat. If they okay, 3 minutes, done? Okay, if they set eyes on your brand, then you're dead. Anyway, so we wanted to compete here, and we would do these very brave campaigns where we would say things like, don't be stupid, buy smart, buy John Jacobs, and we kept doing that. Today, we are the largest premium eyewear brand in the country at 700 crores, right? Then one day, I decided I wanted to go to business school so I could change my life for some reason, right? And then I have this conversation that I don't know if I'm following my passion, I need to change my life. And then they said, what do you want to change? I said, I want to run a business. And I said, okay, fine, so run John Jacobs. I'm done. So sorry. So at 30, on my 30th birthday, I got handed the reins of this brand that I so truly love. And today, this is where we are. We're very proud of the work we've done, very excited that all of my bad decisions finally got me here. So that is my story. Thank you.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions that are going to come your way. Vikram, you want to go first?
Okay. Hey, congratulations. It's
Thank
an
you.
awesome story. Just tell me, what has been the most defining, game-changing moment in your career stroke life, and why?
Okay, I'll answer this. Mentorship. I have had the privilege of working with 2 very tough taskmasters. So Darshan was my first tough taskmaster, and then Piyush is a very tough taskmaster. So I think that really shapes you. It's a boot camp every day, right? You wake up feeling dissatisfied with yourself every day, and that's a learning in itself. So that has defined what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. So great mentorship.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apeksha.
Thank you.